What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be giving my thoughts on Jayne trash talking the Philadelphia Fusion and the London Spitfire. Usually I like to stay away from these types of topics, but today I woke up and I was feeling kind of daring, so let's talk about this, shall we? But before I start the discussion, I just wanted to make it very clear that I am not hating on Jayne in this video. Even if it seems like I am, just know that I love this guy to death and I have nothing against him. But anyway, for those of you who aren't aware, Jayne has been talking a fair amount of smack about how well the Fusion and the Spitfire can play GOATs. He has done so on both his Twitch and his Twitter, and I really don't know why he's been doing this. Smack talk in any kind of sport is entertaining, don't get me wrong, but it feels very strange hearing so much of it come from Jayne of all people. I know he likes to talk some smack here and there, but I can't believe he's trying to provoke both of these teams. But enough about me just telling you guys about it. Let me show you two tweets in particular where he made fun of these teams. So here's tweet number 1, and I quote, "And here I was worried that the Fusion might actually try to improve their play during the week. But hey, if they're just going to show up on Saturday without any improvements at all, then I guess I'll relax and take a day off. See you soon, Carpe," end quote. So Jayne made this tweet after reading up on a recent interview that Carpe was involved in, where he trash talked Jayne after he called the GOATs being played by the Fusion and Spitfire trash. And all I have to say is yikes. I think this was a bad idea on Jayne's part. I feel like Carpe is the last person in the world that you want to provoke. This guy is already one of the best players in the world, if not the best, and giving him more motivation to beat your team just seems like a really bad idea. So tweet number 2 is short but to the point, and I quote, "Wow, London seems to struggle at GOATs. I wonder why no one pointed this out earlier," end quote. Jayne made this tweet last night during the London versus Washington game, and I will admit, the Spitfire have looked pretty weak in this meta. It's clear that they have to fix a lot of mistakes if they want to improve, and just barely beating a team that is widely considered to be one of the worst in the league is not a good look either. But I don't really think that Jayne has the right to be criticizing both the London Spitfire and the Philadelphia Fusion. How can you call these other teams bad at GOATs when your team hasn't looked all too sharp on it either? Sure, the Fuel look great in their win against the Seoul Dynasty, I'll give credit where it's due, but what about the other two games they played in? You lost 4-0 to both the San Francisco Shock and the Guangzhou Charge. How can you say your team is better at GOATs when you got embarrassed in both of these games? It makes Jayne look kind of bad if you ask me, and it would be different if the Fuel played better in those games, but at the end of the day, you can't deny that the Fuel have struggled in 2 of their first 3 games. It's early in the season and there's plenty of time to turn things around, but until that potential turnaround happens, maybe Jayne should keep his money where his mouth is. It's good to see that Jayne has confidence in his team. I'm glad he believes in all of his players. That's one of the things that all athletes want to hear from their coaches. Being believed in and trusted by the team around you helps a player build confidence. But overconfidence is something you want to avoid at all costs. We saw it happen with the NYXL during the postseason, did we not? They were without a doubt the best team all year long, but then they got embarrassed by the Fusion, who just barely squeaked into the playoffs. Being too cocky does you no good. If the Fuel do a lot better in their future games, then I won't really have much of a problem with Jayne talking smack to these other teams while saying that his team is so much better. But if the Fuel badly lose to the Fusion or any other team that Jayne trash talks, then people are going to laugh at him, and I really don't want to see that happen. Like I said before, I really like Jayne and I have mad respect for him. It would break my heart to see him make a fool out of himself and potentially get roasted by others. And that pretty much wraps everything up here, ladies and gentlemen. That's how I feel about all the trash talk that Jayne's been dishing out lately. Again, I'm not trying to hate on Jayne at all here. I'm just concerned about what this could do to his image. I'm interested to hear what you guys think about this down in the comments section. I especially want to hear from Dallas Fuel and Jayne supporters in particular. Don't hold back at all here, guys. I really want to know how others feel about this. So if you enjoyed today's content, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here so you don't miss out on any of my future uploads. Thank you all so much for watching today's video, and until next time, this is ATP, signing out. Peace.